The following may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Give me my son's body, pleads mother of missing car pajama gardener. Dixie Ann Seelal, mother of car pajama gardener Becker Seelal, believes her son has fallen prey to killers and has appealed to them to reveal the location of his remains. Seelal does not believe he is alive. Inside of me, I am not feeling him anymore, or around me. He was giving me all the courage to stay strong. I am not feeling him anymore, so I know my son is not around again. I pick up his dirty clothes to try to get his scent, but there is nothing. I close my eyes and try to remember it, she said. Seelal, 47, spoke of her love for Becker, 28, the first moment she laid eyes on her son. His father had admired the German professional tennis player Boris Becker, and that is how he got his name. I was 18 years old when I had him. When I was pregnant, the only things I could eat were bourbon biscuits and drink Mr. Cola's soft drink. I went into labor for 3 days. I had him on August 13 at 11:45 in the night. He was the first of my 3 children. From a baby, he was always a pleasant child, hardly cried. He never gave trouble or backchat. He started preschool when he was 2.5 years old and enjoyed it. The preschool teacher loved him and thought he was so special and intelligent. She does not live in Trinidad anymore, but every time she returned, she visited. When he was small, he wanted to be a pilot. Later in Couva Government Secondary School, he took to science subjects and wanted to be a dentist. He studied up to A-levels and passed all of his subjects. His father used to work at Coroni Limited, and the 2 acres of land he got at Roopsing Road, he put it in Becker's hands. Becker was about 22 years old at the time, working with a shipping company in Port of Spain. But he did not let the land go to waste. He made the best of it on his off days. He planted squash, and when his crop started to bear and come in, he was very pleased. The family supported him with the gardening. We used to make a lime of it, and a few of us go to the garden and form a long line and pass the squash one by one out of the land. He had an old van with the tray breaking down, and so he had to make a few trips to bring the squash home. He wholesaled the squash and got $1 per pound. That first crop, he earned about $10,000. He was encouraged, and then he went on to get 2 workers and planted pak choy, string beans, baygon, tomatoes, corn, and other vegetables. He planted different crops at different times, then would pack everything in the van and drive around in communities to make sales. Since the pumpkin was at wholesale price, he would sell those at Macoya Market. Maybe around 10 or 11 at night, he would leave home and go with the goods to the market. If he sold out, he would return home, load up again, and return to the market to sell. So maybe around 5 o'clock the next morning, he would reach back home to sleep. He was extremely hardworking, but his weakness was girls. He told me, although he had so many friends, he was not ready to get married or have children as yet. He made other plans to keep working and be comfortable and independent financially. The alternator in the van gave trouble, and later it was gone for good. The car did not have an up-to-date inspection sticker. That is why he went walking that last day out of the street. I had such terrible back pain that day, and he brought 2 Olfen tablets for me. He said, "I'm going to collect some money from the people who bought the corn and coming back." I was in so much pain that day I did not even get to tell him how much I love him, and that is eating me up inside. I didn't get to tell him how much I love him. He knows I love him. He meant everything to me. I watched people's kids getting kidnapped, and now I know how they feel when they lost their child. I never expected that to happen to mine. Weeks before, he had advertised the corn on Facebook, and people took it but said they did not have the money at the time to pay. I do not know which direction he was headed, but the neighbor's security cameras show that he was headed in the street by the savannah, then walked into another back road, which might mean he was probably going to meet the person or people around Waterloo. We went through his Facebook page and Messenger. It seemed that the buyer used a fake profile to contact him. We put all of that in the hands of the police. I did not sleep for the first 4 days and nights he went missing. My blood pressure was over 200 and something. I had a stroke before, and the doctor was giving me a lot of medication to control my pressure. I am barely holding on right now, trying to do my best. My family is doing their best to cope. I am begging whoever did this to use social media to tell me where my son's body is. Whoever did this, my son forgives you all, and I forgive you guys too. But please leave a note or whatever and tell us where the body is so I can put him to rest in peace. This is all I beg of you. Please, whoever has him, I beg of you, just make a fake profile account and tell us where his body is. We won't judge. After, you all could delete the profile and everything. The family has issued a reward of $30,000 for information on him, but thus far no one has come forward. The reward was issued a few days after Becker went missing, but there have not been any callers with information to assist in the investigations. The family tried to add $20,000 to the reward money to attract callers but could not afford it. Officers of the Central Division Police and Anti-Kidnapping Unit are investigating. Anyone with information can contact Crime Stoppers at 800-TIPS, 555-999, or send information to Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith by texting 482-GARY or to the TTPS app.